What's up, guys, and welcome back to Marvelous Chats. My name is Finto. I'm joined today by Hofmvn.
Hey, what's going on?
Today we're talking about episode 2 of the Book of Boba. Hofmvn, what did you think of this episode?
This episode definitely a step in the right direction in terms of it being like more action based and like more intriguing, right? Overall, I think I'm gonna rock this game. Like, we like to do this up front. This is more of a like 7 out of 10 episode because everything went really well. But just like initial impressions, it's like what are they doing to Boba Fett? What are they doing to our boy? Like, I don't know. What do you think of it overall?
Like, there was a lot of stuff I liked. I was kind of trying to jot down a couple of notes while I was watching the episode. I noticed at the very start of the episode he made a reference to Mustafar, and I was like, "Ooh, nice!" That was cool.
Yep.
And the dark-haired Wookiee as well. Definitely want to see more of him.
Yes.
The two Hutts, the twins. I'm like, this could be interesting as well. So they're building up some stuff. It's still kind of very slow paced, I find, and most of this episode we're living in a flashback, which again, I understand it's story that needs to be told. Maybe not as much. We're kind of seeing a bit too much of the flashback, I think. I think the way that they were doing the flashback in episode 1 kind of flowed better. Like, give us half and half, give us like current time and the flashback, or the the dream sequences or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, I don't like. It was definitely a lot better seeing Boba's training with the Tusken Raiders and stuff, and that kind of warrior Tusken that's training him is an absolute badass. And I was like,
Yes.
I'm thinking, like, is this person someone of relevance? I don't really know a lot about the Tuskens. Could this be someone in disguise or something? I'm thinking this person is like such a good like warrior that they like could potentially have like Jedi reflexes or something. Like, they could be something crazy going on. Like, I wouldn't know. Like, like, imagine it was like a Jedi in hiding or something like that after Order 66 or something crazy. Like, I'm thinking like there might be some, because they're mentioning the prequels a lot, and I'm thinking that there's a reason for that. They're getting us in the mindset that we're back in, we're seeing the planet where he came from, and we're seeing flashbacks to his father's death and all this sort of stuff. So I really think that they're trying to keep us, and then like mentioning the likes of Mustafar from episode 3 and where Vader fell and all this stuff. I think they're really trying to keep us in that time.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I could definitely see them setting her character up. I think you're got a good idea about what they're doing with the prequels. They're like trying to harken back to that time of like the Clone Wars and stuff and Boba Fett for a reason. If I was to like to do a shot in the dark, I didn't really watch it, but the show The Bad Batch, I don't know what happened to the girl in The Bad Batch, but I would, could obviously see her being maybe a character that's like hidden with the Tusken Raiders. Yeah. Being somebody who's like very well trained in this stuff, seeing Boba Fett and like recognizing he looks like a clone trooper, right? And her being kind of one of herself, right? Overall, like I really do like the beginning of the episode where they're really doing the stuff with the Hutts, right? I thought it was cool to see the Hutts. It's the first time we've seen any other Hutt in the Star Wars universe in live action. And I thought they looked amazing. Like the 3D rendering and the visual effects in this show are outstanding. Like, far and away better than anything I think we've seen from Disney in terms of TV stuff and cinematic. Like, even the last one, like the last episode with the guy with the 4 arms, like he looked amazing. I've been blown away by the visual effects. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, just on that point, what blows my mind about that as well is if you've watched the gallery, which I know you have, but for anyone in the chat who might not know this, most of the show is shot on a stage, like 90%. They make very few props for the show, but it's all on a kind of like curved screen, so none of it is real. It's crazy. They build very like the scene where he goes into the bar. I would say like the tables and chairs are all that's real there. That's it. Everything else is all CG that's done on a big stage. It's crazy. So like I got to give props to them because like Lucasfilm and all of George Lucas's sub companies and stuff, they've always been the the bringers of all this new technology, you know. So like it's amazing to see, and this is just a step into the future. I can only imagine what's going to be happening in 10 years when they can make bigger sets, and you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
they'll be able to like just upload like cities and everything. Like it'll be crazy. Like so, yeah.
they'll give us like all the stories we've been wanting, right? But they can do it for cheap on the quick.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And
yeah.
then as well, this is how Disney as well are able to do stuff like the Luke Skywalker cameo and not have it ruined on the internet, because they don't have loads and loads of staff and people working on the production. It's a very small team. It's all closed off inside on a stage, and that just helps with the with all the likes of these like leakers and scoopers and stuff like that. So that's how they're able to do stuff like keep the Luke Skywalker thing safe, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy in this day and age.
Yeah, and people really don't know what's coming to this. There's, a lot of the speculators are just like pointing out there might be these characters, like Han Solo's rumored, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like that could just be a shot in the dark, right?
Yeah.
Because they saw Luke and the Mandalorian. They're like, who else is here for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, to get kind of like talk about the episode chronologically. After we get out of the streets, like the Fets, or before that, actually, the scene with the mayor. One, I like that the mayor wasn't like strung along as a character we didn't get to meet. I love that it was like right in the second episode they introduced him. And I thought the scene with him was like really, really good. Like he's a powerful character. You can sense his presence and like how strong he is, how much respect he has. But the scene right before that, one thing I got a gripe with, I think it's just the Star Wars, the ironic like bureaucrat secretary in Star Wars. That trope has got to go. The guy who was just like pulling Boba Fett's leg and was kind of messing with him, like, oh, you don't have an appointment. Yeah, I feel like they do that in every Star Wars thing now. It's like, stop.
Yeah.
Like Boba Fett should have shot that guy.
Yeah.
Like that guy. And I'm
hate
sitting
him.
there.
I hate him so much.
And I'm like, dude, they're ripping apart Boba Fett as a badass. Because I don't care if you respect or whatever.
Yeah.
When a secretary messes with you and like you just kind of take it, it's like, what? Like this is Boba Fett. You're going to talk to him like that and you're just a dude at a desk. Hated that, bro. Hated that. Almost ruined the episode for me.
And it's very cheap comedy. Like it's not funny.
Right.
And I'm very surprised at like Jon Favreau, because like he's able to put out a lot of really good comedy, and for stuff like that to come out, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. Yes. Yeah, it is.
Not a fan of that stuff.
No, I agree. What did you think of the train scene?
Very exciting. Wow.
Cool.
Wasn't expecting that to be that good. The whole lead up to it, that middle of it is kind of, pretty long. It felt like a film, right? Because they took so much time with the training and leading up to it. I was blown away that the train scene was cool. That's the race they introduced into Star Wars. I feel like that's a brand new race I haven't seen before on screen. Like so much action. I dug it, bro. Like I just like this should be more of this. What about you?
Yeah, I really liked it. I loved it was like an action movie. Like some of the Tuskens being killed off, and yeah, it was just, and then obviously the warrior, like, she's a female Tusken, right? I
I'm
presume.
assuming. She's
I'm
pretty
assuming
slender.
too. Yeah, and she, like, my girlfriend said the same. It's like, I bet you that's a woman, like, just the way she's moving and stuff. So I loved at the very end where she just came shooting along and like just started kicking everybody's ass. Like, it was great. Loved the lizard trip as well. I thought that was very funny. That was a cool scene, and then when him crafting his staff was really cool as well.
You like that? Oh
Yeah.
I hated it, bro.
Really?
I thought the end of this episode, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? like what is, like, we literally spent like 10 minutes of that episode, or maybe 5, it just feels long, right? Where he's getting wrapped up in cloth and creating a weapon. So I'm like, we spent all this time on like an outfit that he doesn't really wear anymore because he has his armor on top of it and a helmet. And then also he doesn't really use his staff anymore. Like, he's using his guns. Like, they're not really bringing it back up in the show because we haven't seen him with that staff this entire time.
I know.
But we know he had it in Mandalorian.
He was breaking stormtroopers' heads with it in Mando.
Yeah.
Like cracking helmets and stuff, which was really cool. Because I was like, Jesus, what? Like, because we haven't seen him do like close combat with like hand-to-hand combat and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is crazy. So I suppose we're just kind of getting those gaps filled. Probably a little slower than we need to, Again, I'm always stressing this, we're 2 episodes in now, there's only 4 left, and it's like, or 5 left, sorry, and it's like that's 5 hours at most, at
Right.
most. Not even we won't even get 5 hours of runtime. Like we know this, So it's very much can they do what they need to do in the time without making it feel rushed, and so like that just worries me. But yeah, overall for me, good episode, better than the last one. And as well I saw like a probably 20 minutes more runtime as well, which is them moving in the right direction. I don't understand how these shows aren't just like 1 hour without ads and stuff. Like like they should be, they should definitely be putting out like 7 hours of content. Like I don't know. And like I've heard some people talking about it, like 7 is a very weird number. It's like it's a bit worrying. Like did they have 8 or 9 episodes or 10 and they had to cut stuff back, or was it 6 and they added another one on because they got a bunch of stuff that they like. Seven sounds messy. Seven's such a strange number for a series. Like 6 seems quite common. 8 is even common as well, and 10. You always see 10 on like Netflix and stuff like that, but 7's just such a weird number, bro. I don't get it. So
maybe they're gonna double it up, or maybe there's just like one episode where it's not like Boba Fett's really not in it. It's just like an epilogue.
Oh, like it sinks right into Mando season 3.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. One thing I wish I saw from the show more too is like I feel like the writing of the show is a little bit too handholdy to the audience, and they're explaining it too much. Like the amount of times they have to explain what's Boba Fett and his female mercenary are doing. I think her name's like Shand or something. Like he has to look at her and be like, "Watch my back." I would like a lot more if they made it like Boba Fett like just looked at her and then you just see her like falling back to watch it.
Yeah.
I wish there was a lot more nonverbal stuff, but it's just like over the top. She always like comments on like, I don't think this is this isn't gonna be good. Let's show that more than say it. It just doesn't feel as good as I think it could. I think that really takes away from the characters when they have to explain stuff instead of like you getting that feel that they know each other.
Well, like Fennec Shan is her name, and she was in a couple of the animated shows. Like she was in Bad Batch and stuff, and she was way more badass in Bad Batch. So I'm like, what are they doing with her? Like she seems to just kind of just be sitting around, like she's just there, like I don't get it. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping her character opens up.
Yeah, I hope the whole series opens up, because I know they call it the Book of Boba Fett, so it's like a weird thing to say. But and it's not even a critique, but this feels like a slow burn in a book, where it's like they're setting the stakes up all over the place, and then they have it start going.
Yeah.
Versus like Game of Thrones is one of the only books, or Song of Ice and Fire is one of the only books I read where it's like chapter 1 or whatever, big hook right off the bat, and like boom. Because Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire is written like a TV show, because George R. Martin used to be a screenwriter, like he used to write for TV before he was a book writer.
Yeah.
And so this show feels like a novel where it's like a very slow lead up to like everything. And so it's a little it's really frustrating, because I want to know like what's the big hook of this show, like what's the real deal, why we're watching this.
Yeah.
And they kind of introduce it with the Fets, the stakes are raised with them, but they still don't show you why the Fets are so intimidating. Why should we be so scared of them?
Yeah.
We're just kind of relying on that knowledge in the Star Wars universe, and the extended universe from people knowing about the Hutts.
Yeah.
But if you watch this whole like Star Wars franchise, the Hutts are mentioned like twice, maybe, like the Hutts as like a crime lord family.
Yeah.
So if you're just living within what they've shown you on screens, it's not like crazy good and crazy intimidating what's going on.
True.
So,
yeah.
I just hope they open it up.
I think so. Yeah. I think it has promise, but again, I think it's like a lot of people are calling it Mando 2.5, and I think that really is the kind of vibe that I'm getting. Like it's kind of some DLC content for Mandalorian, So yeah. Guys, if you liked the video, make sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you're liking what we're putting out here. I've been Finto.
Yeah, it's Hofmvn.
Take it easy. See you in the next one.
Everyone.
Bye.